Good morning, everyone. I'm Veeramony. I'm going to be one of your presenters today in the Modern Manufacturing webinar organized by the Modern Manufacturing Expo, WISE, and KPMG. Along with me are going to be other presenters, Tony Johns and Ron Gardner. I'm going to be the first one talking to you about some of the challenges and trends and opportunities in the manufacturing sector in Australia. Next slide, please. First, I would like to start off with an acknowledgement to the country. I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders peoples as the first peoples of Australia. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and future as the traditional custodians of the land, water, and skies that where we work. Can we move on to the next slide? As mentioned earlier, I'm Ram Veeramony. I've got around 18 years of experience in manufacturing and consulting around manufacturing technology. I lead the Industry 4.0 and manufacturing practice in KPMG. Over the last 18 to 19 years, I've been working across the globe with several organizations in manufacturing and allied businesses. I've helped them with their digital transformation journeys, I've helped them with their technology transformation journey. Today, I would like to talk about some of the key trends and challenges in manufacturing in Australia. In that context, I would like to go to the next slide, where today we will be talking about manufacturing sector overview, which will cover the manufacturing sector in Australia and key challenges in the Australian market, the global trends, and opportunities for local manufacturers. Let's start off with the first slide around manufacturing sector overview. If you meet 20 people on the streets, there is a high chance that one of them is employed in manufacturing related industry. The once thriving industry has had limited focus over the last 2 decades. The last focused transformation of the manufacturing industry was held during the year 2000 around the Sydney Olympics timeframe. The industry has since geographically spread throughout the nation with a great concentration on the eastern seaboard. As you can see from the graphics displayed in the slide, a large number of almost 1 million people are being employed by this industry, and a large number of the players are small and medium businesses who deliver value as part of a local ecosystem and deliver employment to the local workforce. Next slide, please. What are the current challenges, key challenges in the Australian market? I have listed 8 key challenges in this slide, and I will take you through one by one. The first one that we will talk about is supply chain constraints. Customers are looking for more faster on time delivery. We are a nation connected by sea. Over 90% of our trade is seaborne, and network congestion causes supply chain disruption. This is coupled with geopolitical disturbances in the region. That means that we need to relook how the supply chain is constituted and what can be changed. The second challenge that I would like to touch upon is local ecosystem enablement. When you need to be flexible and timely in responding to customer needs, it is essential to build local ecosystem. There has been limited focus in the last two decades, especially on enabling local manufacturing. It's quite evident with the recent events that self sustainability in local manufacturing is hard to achieve, especially for a sea-locked nation like ours. The third key challenge that I would like to focus on today is the digital skills shortage. There is skills shortage in general. We can see that topic cropping up and again in all discussions with the industry. What is acute though is the shortage of digital skills in manufacturing. This needs to be addressed to enable a more competitive, attractive local employment market. The fourth challenge is sustainable manufacturing. Sustainable, sustainable energy is the future. It has been a constant ask and continuous challenge to transition to sustainable manufacturing practices. This includes energy, recyclables, and emission. How can you create a strategy that incentivizes and makes your business more efficient whilst achieving sustainability goals is an ongoing challenge. And of course, rising input costs. Manufacturing is an energy intensive business. It is also a people intensive business. Energy costs are going up through the roof and are expected to rise. This, along with the supply chain pressures, cost of input materials, is a perfect storm for manufacturing operations viability. How do you protect your business, your margins, and weather the storm is another key question. The other aspects, which are quite operational, is essentially around outdated technology. As mentioned earlier, the last time businesses attempted a major transformation of their technology landscape was approximately 20 years ago. Sporadic investments have happened since, but none have emerged local businesses out of the legacy ecosystem that they have deeply embedded themselves in. It is high time to review your back office ERPs, middle office supply chain and operation systems, and also the front office CRM and customer experience landscape to determine what to retain and what to replace. And of course, unconnected data. Have we actually utilized the data sets that we have collected over the last 10, 15 years to determine the best strategic and operational decisions that impact our business? You have the data, however, it is disconnected, hence less useful. How can you connect the data points to evolve intelligent decisions is key to staying ahead of the curve. And the last but not the least is around scaling up of the operations. Obviously, demand will be generated when we are looking at local sourcing, local manufacturing, government incentives, demand will be generated. But are you ready to fulfill it? How do you scale up the operations locally? How can this be affordable? You need access to the right skills at the right cost. You need local sourcing partners and a supportive regulatory environment or a framework. All of this have to come together to be able to deliver on scaling up your operations. Next slide, please. What we can look at now is after looking at the key challenges, we can look at some of the key global trends that we see emerging in the manufacturing industry globally. The first trend that we are looking at is moving away from a product centric to a customer centric operations. What does this mean? Customer expectations are changing. Mass personalization is not far away, even in the industrial sense, right? In that context, how can operations still be product centric? It has to be customer centric. This means that holistic customer outcome is what your operations will focus on. This includes services that go along with the product, the trackability of the product, fulfillment, among others, right? So the holistic customer focused operations is something that is coming up to the front of mind when it comes to manufacturing globally. The second one that we are looking at is sustainable value chain. As mentioned earlier, sustainability is more and more becoming a mandatory thing, a ticket to play. So getting to a net zero or net positive is a journey. However, you can start by identifying a strategy to put together to spot those pockets where improvement can be done in terms of emissions, in terms of recyclables, in terms of energy usage. That's really key. Human enabled technology. We know that technology can accelerate your business efficiency, accelerate innovation. However, technology on its own cannot deliver value. You need the right combination of human, data, and technology to be put together to deliver equitable, more meaningful, ethical, responsible value to the operations. So it's technology with humans, not technology over humans. The third aspect, or the fourth aspect rather, is data driven business. As mentioned earlier, there are lots of thousands of equipments or millions of equipments globally, devices capturing data throughout your supply chain. These millions and billions of data points are being stored somewhere, really scattered. How can you bring some of this together and create connected value to your business is key. That's where data driven business focus lies. The next trend is around digital factories. Almost all factories are now well connected through IoT devices. How do we expand it further by bringing this data into your backend ecosystems, into your backend ERP, by creating automation, by creating digital twins to ensure that you can create a greener, leaner, and safer operating environment? The last but not the least here, again, is secure and connected supply chain. We know that supply chains are prone to disruption due to congestion, events, global disruptions, and geopolitical scenarios. There needs to be a focus on ensuring that supply chain is more reliable and resilient. Can we go to the next slide, please? So, what are the opportunities for you here? Opportunities as local manufacturers that you can uh, utilize over the next few years. The first one is to utilize government funding. For example, the $15 billion reconstruction fund that has been announced, as well as global investments to enable local manufacturing. You can either look at expanding your current operations, or furthermore, you can explore modernization as well as critical technology uplift to create a more efficient business. The second opportunity that I would like to focus on is you can enable your customer centric product development and product design opportunities by moving left in the value chain into R&D and innovation. That is a trend that's picking up really fast in Australia, where it's also moving away from consumer goods into the industrial manufacturing sector as well. Innovation in factory technology is enabling this. Also, digitalization in service experience is also emerging as a key factor on the other end of the value chain. The service focused business is creating new revenue streams and opening up a feedback loop for more innovation. So you are getting closer to your customers when you are in a service business. The third opportunity that I will request you to look at is modernization. You can modernize some technology enablers that are going to be critical for the success of any business operations in the near future. The businesses which have the wherewithal and the ability to invest rightly and well in advance in these digital capabilities will find themselves ahead of the curve and considerable leaders advantage. This includes, but is not limited to, investment in technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Even though you might not want to focus on it immediately, but it has to be something that you are focusing on in your roadmap. The next opportunity, which I would like you to look at, is investment in green energy. Businesses are being continuously evaluated more often than not on their ability to contribute to net zero emissions target. Early on in the journey, you might want to start with real emissions cut and clear strategy on showcasing this as part of your value proposition. At this point in time, you are at advantage as there is real incentive to go green. Make use of this. In the future, this will not be an incentive but a mandatory requirement. It is up to you whether you choose to get in early and make this as an opportunity, or come in late and be this requirement be thrusted upon your business. The next opportunity which I would like you to look at is localizing parts of your supply chain. I'm fully aware that as a business, we in Australia have to rely on global partners. However, there are elements of supply chain we can bring in locally. We can ensure that there is value chain efficiency through this. Globally, this is happening as well. Manufacturing corridors and precincts are being developed. Even within Australia nationally, there are different precincts and corridors that are being pulled together to bring together dependent businesses, creating a local ecosystem that thrives and serves the local market. The next thing that you might want to focus on is to incentivize local skills development. This also involves digitally enabling your existing workforce to work with emerging technology changes and customer interaction patterns. It is critical to incentivize learning and skill development as businesses have called out their inability to scale without enough resources. Unforeseen events and border closures can exacerbate this situation. So it's critical for you to take the digital leap, whether it is with technology or people or environment sustainability as early as possible. With that, I would like to thank you all to on listening to this presentation. We come to an end of this presentation. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Looking forward to taking some questions toward the end of the session. Thank you.